So it's a bit of a crappy day out here. If it was September rather than August, I'd say it almost feels like snow is in the air. Given it's August, I really hope it's not snow in the air because pretty much none of the farmers have even knocked their crops down yet, let alone taking them off the field. So that would be horrible. Figured since it's a crappy day outside, I'm gonna be indoors. I might as well rant a bit for whatever reason. Oh, lots of people probably be like, "What do? You sit on your ass and smoke cigarettes, make videos." So I guess I could say a little bit about myself. Grew up on a farm, like family operation that my dad had bought. Worked for beekeepers. Worked drilling rigs for quite a few years. Whenever the rigs shut down and break up because of road bans, I'd find something else to do, like build decks, re-roof houses like shingle or tin. Worked at a culvert plant. That's bloody loud stuff when the saw hits those culverts to cut them to length. Echoes in the shop too, so it's just gloriously deafening. I've built roads, geogrid, geocellular, and conventional. Actually, lots of good things to say about geocellular roads when it comes to bogs and stuff, because you don't really need to cut down to the bottom and build a huge subgrade. You just run the geocellular over, and because it makes vertical force and a lateral force, because it pulls in all the cells. I've seen 30-ton rock trucks go across chest deep bog after putting a lift of sand into geocellular. Yeah, that's what made me a believer in the product, because I was like, we couldn't walk across shit without going up to our chests when we were installing geocell. Yeah, so like, this isn't my farm, this isn't my shop, this is my parents, that I'm hoping to buy them out when they decide that they don't want to live here anymore. And I know that now, here's where people are probably going to say I need to learn to code. Or that I need to learn more valuable online skills. But this is where I'm saying my real life world experience might trump some of their Google searches. See, when it comes to automation, especially when you leave well-controlled environments, like inside of a factory building, and come out into Mother Nature with mud, muskeg, wild animals, high wind, hail, all that stuff. A lot of that new technology tends to be pretty delicate and just breaks down quickly. Yeah. So there's still lots of need for people to actually get their hands dirty. I think that's one of the growing concerns, or one of the causes of a lot of problems, is that people have become so out of touch with what it takes to actually produce the goods for them, because so many people don't produce the goods. They go to a store, they buy them. They don't understand the resource extraction, the shipment to refining, manufacturing, the distribution on trains, planes, cargo ships, and trucks. And there's also like a disconnect between consumers, especially with food, and the producers, in that a lot of people think farmers, now that food prices have gone up, farmers are just making bank. And they don't realize, like, for the most part, that money will never be seen by farmers. Those increase in prices, like, basically goes to all the middlemen. When COVID came out and meat prices started skyrocketing, here in Alberta, we had the issue of 2 of our meat packing plants closed, and they did like 70 to 80% of the meat in the province. Prices of meat go up in stores. Oh, farmers, ranchers. Rah. Meanwhile, the commodities price of beef at auction, where farmers take their cattle to auction them off, it went from $3.90 a pound down to $2.90 a pound, like 26 and point whatever reduction in price. And on top of that, it happened in the spring. After the snow melted, or as the snow was melting, so farmers have used all their hay, their silage, their green feed, through the winter. And because the snow's still melting, there's no pasture to put the cattle. So it's not like they could hold on to the cattle until prices got better. They had to get rid of them so they wouldn't starve them. So they had to take that cut. And that hurt a lot of, like, especially the smaller outfits that, you know, they had fair size operating loans because, like, equipment ain't cheap. Neither is feed, especially then, because, like, round bale prices, like hay bale prices, tripled because everyone was trying to buy it. And there just wasn't enough to go around. So yeah, farmers took quite a beating during COVID, especially when they're told, like, yeah, trucking outfits were shut down. So, like, there's grain can store for a while, but like vegetable farmers, potatoes, onions, all that stuff, they couldn't get trucking to ship it. So they basically had to dig a hole and dispose of the food before it rotted and started attracting, like, parasites and bugs and mice and stuff. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are arguing these days about how things should be done from the comfort of their own home. But they won't get out of their own home and actually do anything to make change. Like, there's so many people, they just want to make demands and demands and demands, but they don't want to actually do anything themselves to make it better. They'll sit and make a lot of videos, kind of like what I'm doing. However, I'm not telling anyone, demanding anyone that, oh, you got to get outside and grow a garden. I'm advising people, like, considering food costs are continuing to skyrocket, that you might want to consider growing a garden to save yourself some money. You know, you might want to learn some skills that'll help you keep down costs. Like, you don't need to learn how to sew your own clothes, but, you know, if you could learn how to stitch up the hems and sew up seams that bust, like, that'll help you, because needle and thread is a lot cheaper than buying new clothes right now. Anyways, guess that was my rambling rant for now. Considering I'm complaining people aren't doing enough, I should probably get off my ass and start cleaning up this shop. Since it's gonna be an inside day, because I don't feel like getting cold and rained on right now. You know, first world problems. There's kids that are mining shit right now that for a couple dollars a day, breathing in toxic dust and stuff. They have it way easier than us. Oh, on a side note, and this is going to sound crazy, but to all of you that think, oh, we're so hard done by, think of it this way. If you have a flushing toilet, you use more fresh water to get rid of your waste than a lot of people will ever drink. If you have access to reliable transportation, you have food security, like not even to high grade food, just have food security in that you won't starve. And you live in a home with running water. Globally, you are considered to be in the top 15% of the wealthiest people. Something like half the homes, or more than half the homes in the world, don't have flushing toilets. A lot of the homes in the world don't have electricity. There's nearly like 800 million people globally that go through food shortages, meaning like they literally do not know when their next meal is going to be. That's 10% of the world. So, I mean, just because you might not be able to get the latest electronics, just because you can't afford that brand new car, like, you're not suffering that bad. But if you don't try to do more for yourself and you continue to rely on others to do for you, it's not going to get better. And anyways, I guess I went off on too many tangents here today. Probably just a confusing mumble of words to anyone listening, but I'm a redneck ranting, not highly educated, just a hillbilly speaking his piece. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Keep safe, stay alive.